Now, this is a house that's owned by a friend of mine, Brad, who's done a lot of work on it over the last few months, but you'd be surprised at how many projects you can do around your home. It costs less than $100 for all the materials, and we're going to focus on a lot of those projects on this week's show. Now, Brad started a project this morning that is a type of project that we get a lot of emails on, and that's how to install a tile floor over an existing wood floor. Let's check in and see how he's getting along on that project. The mudroom between Brad's kitchen and back porch has some old, worn, self-adhesive vinyl tiles on the floor now, so he wants to upgrade the look and create a more durable surface. After removing the two doors that open into the space, he takes measurements for the cement backer board that has to go down first. This stuff is the crucial first step because it isolates the tile from the wood subfloor so that there's no cracking when the wood and tile expand and contract at different rates. A layer of thin-set adhesive goes down before the backer board, which is then secured with special screws designed to countersink into the hard surface. The seams between the pieces of backer board are coated with more thin-set and covered with mesh fiberglass tape. Finally, Brad puts one more coat of thin-set over the tape, and he's ready to begin the tile layout. All right, what'd you end up with here? Some kind of slate, man. This stuff's
slate, yeah.
Odd looking.
Yeah, I know. I just picked that up this morning at about 6 o'clock. So.
The next step is to figure the layout, which is a little tricky since these doors aren't quite centered. Normally, you'd start any tile job right down the middle and then lay off from there so that even, but here, I'm not really sure you wouldn't want to bias it over here like this.
Yeah, I think it'll work. And I know what you're saying about the line not being directly in the middle, but
it's closer here than it would be if you centered it up. And then let's see as far as this distance. Let's see, so 64. So if you laid them straight, you would have about a 4-inch cut on one side or the other. So that's the other decision, is whether or not you would want, let's see, with a 4-inch piece, you could have a 4-inch piece there,
right.
4-inch piece there, or a 2 and a 2. What do you think? You can flip a coin? Once we establish the two layout lines that are perpendicular to each other, we can mix more thin set to begin laying tiles. And then, like I say, as far as the selection of these pieces, since they're kind of going to be a random look to them, I guess you don't want the same kind side by side.
Yeah, some of them are more colorful than others. That one that you sit there against the wall. You know,
Which one you want? Which one you want?
You want
to put 2 of those spacers on each one. Otherwise, they'll rock back and forth.
Gotcha.
What do you think? This one? Where?
Yeah, I think so. I think it would look right against the wall.
From here, the process is mostly repetitive until we get to the point where we have to start cutting tiles. While I make the cuts, Brad continues applying the thin set and laying the tiles, being careful to keep the grout lines consistent with spacers. There are a few notches to be made here and there, but otherwise, this is a great tile project to get your feet wet. Not just because of the low cost, but because the size is manageable in terms of time spent. Hey Brad, when I first saw what you picked out here for the tile, I wasn't really sure that it was going to look right here, but with all the different colors and the textures, it really turned out well.
Yeah, I think so too. And once we get the gray grout on there, it's going to tie it all together.
Applying grout is less precise than laying the tile, but it does require some effort. The idea is to rake the grout over the gaps between the tiles, forcing it in as you go and leaving it level with the tile surface. After that, it has to be cleaned several times to remove the excess grout from the surface of the tiles. But the effort really pays off because once Brad's baseboards are back in place, this mudroom has a great new look, and he has only spent about $95 for tile and materials.